back in. If we have figured this out correctly, then this should be us, and you should be able to hear us. However, because of the way that we're streaming this, which is via a boot camp Mac, I will be operating in a slightly less technical wizardry than I normally do. So thank you for your patience, or if you're listening to this on a podcast, if we've kept all the guff and nonsense in beforehand, then welcome back. If we haven't, then welcome to Blood and Song Plays Lasers and Feelings. So Lasers and Feelings is it's a one page, so it's a one sheet role playing game, and I've used it a couple of times. It's a good rainy day game to play, so it's a good thing to get people who are not massively into role-playing games into the idea of them, because it feels in many ways like a sort of parlor game, or maybe a game you might play at Christmas or something like that with the family. I've played it in a tent with some people when it was peeing down with rain. I played it with some family members on holiday. So it's the right sort of thing, I think, to sort of get people into RPGs. And what we're hoping to do in this series as we go forward is do a series of them. So Lasers and Feelings, which is a one sheet by John Harper, who he created Blaze in the Dark and a handful of other sort of fairly famous role-playing games. It's inspired by the Double Clicks, which is a band, and you can find all this information we will put it in the description, and you can just Google Lasers and Feelings. But we're hoping to maybe expand into a Blood and Song version of Lasers and Feelings, and I know I have a hack for it, so you can hack this, you can homebrew it. I have one of these prepared for when The Matrix comes out. I'm a big Matrix fan. It was my generation, Star Wars, man. The Matrix, I was about to say it dipped off in quality compared to Star Wars, but actually that's not true now. Star Wars has lived long enough to see itself become the villain. So
I mean, to be fair, we've got a lot of these in the pipe ready to go, and we could even do a John Wick one, couldn't we, when they both come out? Maybe we'll do one for that.
We so could, couldn't we? So it's the Lasers and the Feelings conceit is that, and what we'll do is the beauty of Lasers and Feelings, this is why it will work today, technical difficulties and all, because you can have a game that is as short as 10 minutes, and I would say on average 2 hours, and you can continue these things if you want, unless everybody dies, of course. And you can put the Lasers and Feelings concept into any world, any setting, anywhere. You could do anything with it. So as long as you sort of keep in mind the ideas of Lasers and Feelings. So the Lasers and Feelings game is set on a spaceship, which we'll get into momentarily. But the idea of Lasers versus Feelings is, let's say, Lasers is Spock, who's maybe one of the sort of more well-known ones. He's science, he's logic. And you've got Feelings, which is Kirk, he's emotion, he's instinct. And they make a good team. And they sort of operate in slightly different ways. So that's the sort of central conceit. And what we'll do with Lasers and Feelings, what's so great about it is the sort of, each time you make your characters and each time you go through the intro, it's essentially it's part of the game. So in the way that sometimes like a session 0 or something like that might be Bradley's dog's coming in to join.
Hey, Sydney.
Yeah, and I can't remember what I was saying, but I'm sure it was fantastic. If we hadn't have just had an hour's worth of technical difficulties, I might remember. Okay.
So one of the things we've been having during the technical difficulties is Christine has been knitting something.
I know.
Can we now finally see it?
Let me finish this row. Let me finish. I've got one more stitch because I was doing the introduction as well. So I just, first of all, I picked up a hat. I was trying to do that, but realised that didn't work. I'm Charlie Chaplin.
A laptop, sorry.
Sydney's just stealing all the thunder. So I got this far. I made.
That's pretty far.
Yeah. I know, this is how long it was going on. Honestly, I was sat there cheering the lads on, but I don't think I've got enough to make a full scarf, but I think I could probably make a snood. maybe twist it, give you a little bit of an infinity scarf. Maybe.
Nice.
I think you did a Blue Peter. I think you pulled one out that you'd done earlier on. There's no way you could have done it that quickly.
No, I was tempted to. I've got some complicated knits. I thought, I'll start with grey wool and I'll pull out something that's bright pink, and you might go, no. This is genuinely what I've been doing all the time. That you guys are going OBS and audio outputs, and I was like, oh my gosh!
It would normally be fun under other circumstances, right? I enjoy
I
this
guess
sort of
so.
stuff, right? When we're not under the gun.
Yeah, but now it's going to inform on my character for this. They're definitely going to have 4 arms, and 2 of them are definitely going to be knitting. So
Yeah, at least, like we
Whatever
said,
else is going
something
on.
good's come out of it. Yeah.
Yeah, this is more Spaceballs than Star Trek.
Yeah,
it's going
definitely,
to be. I think
definitely. Well,
by the nature
listen,
of what's going on.
thank you, anyone who's listening to it after the fact, and anyone who's listening to it at the moment who is it bared with or bore with or what's the past
Bear
tense?
with. I'm not sure what type of bear. If it's the animal bear with or the other type of bear.
You bared with us, I'm going to say. So thank you
That'll
for that. And also thanks for anyone who joined last week or has listened to that. That was our Blood and Pixels. That was the first attempt, although again some difficulties prevented us from being able to do the sort of stream we really wanted. And Bradley's microphone was muted for the first sort of 30 minutes. But we did a live playthrough and a sort of discussion Q&A of the Dungeons & Dragons Dark Alliance
It
game.
wasn't my choice. That was PlayStation did that to me.
Yeah. So with that in mind, it went out onto Twitch, but we've uploaded it since onto YouTube. So you can listen to that back. And if you're interested in video games as well as maybe like it has a hand in role-playing games, it's something that we're hoping to incorporate into what we do as well as we go forward. And we're happy to take.
Really, it was more of a podcasty thing than a gameplay thing.
Yeah. Well, Jim Bob asked us some incisive questions, and we actually had a really good chat about role playing in general, right? And who you play with, and why you play, and how you first got into it. So actually, it was a really good chance to get to know some of the people who listen to us regularly. And so yeah, we really enjoyed that, and we're hoping to do more of them, right? Definitely. We just want to hear if people actually enjoyed it and what games they want to see us do next. So we're playing the base Lasers and Feelings, and I think we should just crack straight on with it. And the beauty of it is I'll explain what we're about to do as we go through, and everyone creates their characters at the same time as this. The problem is that I cannot access now the sheet where I was going to write all my stuff down about your characters. So I'm going to have to ask you guys to remember everything about your characters. Just the things I'm about to go through. Just maybe prompt me if I need to know something about it, because I'm not able to multitask the same way as I hoped I'd be able to. I don't like an unsubstantiated. I just got an unsubstantiated link from somebody. I don't trust it.
Don't do it.
I'm going to try and do it. It'll just shut down everything. I'm going to attempt to bring up the sheet here.
Just about 5,000 laptops and iPads around you, Sean. Like, sure, you just grab.
I normally do. I moved it with them all upstairs, thinking it was a smarter move to move all of the, to spread the laptops and screens and iPads and phones all around the house. I thought it would be a smart thing to do, but actually, it turns out I need it here.
No, because there's always one that has that one specific app that you need, and it's the opposite end of the house. And
yeah, beautiful. Right, I can get it up here. Lovely. So. I'm going to therefore read off of my phone, so I hope you guys don't mind. If you are ready to play Lasers and Feelings, I'm ready. Okay.
Let us begin.
Let's do it.
Just imagine an intro video.
Yeah, what can we do for the pretend intro video?
I imagine it's something like the space section of Too Many Cooks.
In a world plagued by aliens, one crew led by Captain Darcy and the Raptor must prevail in Lasers and Feelings.
I like it. I'm buying into that.
Follow that. You are the crew of the interstellar scout ship Raptor. Your mission is to explore uncharted regions of space, deal with aliens both friendly and deadly, and defend the Consortium worlds. Consortium worlds. Oh, I'm getting a phone call. Oh, good. Thank you. That's good timing, isn't it? Sorry, I've been called away. You deal with the crisis on your own. Where was I? Your mission is to explore uncharted regions of space, deal with aliens both friendly and deadly, and defend the Consortium worlds against space dangers. It's vague. Captain Darcy, the captain of the ship Raptor, has been overcome by the strange psychic entity known as the Something Else. Not the Something Else. Leaving you to fend for yourselves while he recovers in a medical pod. Now, you are the crew of the interstellar scout ship Raptor. You must create your characters for me, please. I don't know if you'd like to do it sort of everyone pick your style, then everyone pick your role, or I don't know if you'd like to go one at a time. How are we feeling on doing this?
I think maybe do it styles. I quite like the idea of us saying it, doing it one, 2, 3, 4.
It's very antithetical to like what we normally do with D&D, isn't it? Where someone comes out and explains their character all in one go.
Yeah, backstory.
I like it.
Yeah. Okay. So do I. All right. So you, in order to create your characters, it's very, very simple. The first thing you do is create a style for your character. Now, the advice they've got here is alien, android, dangerous, heroic, hotshot, intrepid, or savvy. And you will be able to find the PDF and follow along as well. It's only a one sheet. You'll be able to find it on the Lasers and Feelings. Just Google Lasers and Feelings, you'll find it. So, who is immediately drawn to one of those traits?
I am an android.
Lovely. Lovely.
I'm dangerous.
You're going to be dangerous. I think I'm
guessing
probably...
That's Scottish, is it, Brad?
That was Scorusian.
Okay, yeah, because it's a space version of Scottish.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to be a hot shot. Okay. I think I've decided. I don't know what that means yet. I'll make it up as we go along.
Okay, we have an android, hot shot, and I with your accent, I assuming you say intrepid.
Dangerous.
Oh, you said dangerous. This is what I mean. You're going to have to I would make notes, but I can't.
So a dangerous hotshot android. This is going to go well.
So now you choose a role for your character. They're sort of fairly standard. Sort of, if anyone's seen any, even has a sort of passing cursory knowledge of Star Trek or something like that, you choose a role for your character on the ship. So we have Doctor, Envoy, Engineer, Explorer, Pilot, Scientist, or Soldier.
I'd like to go for Soldier, if that's all right.
Okay.
Seems to fit with the hotshot theme.
All right.
And the knitting, de-stressing. Maybe that's some kind of post-traumatic stress.
He does it on the go so that he de-stresses constantly.
Yeah, I think so, and I think that it's been taught to him by some kind of therapist, probably with his anger management. I think that's what I'm going to go for.
Bradley, what are you?
I'm an explorer. So
okay, you're a dangerous explorer.
A dangerous explorer. He just enters those unknown parts, those dangerous caves, without any regard.
Okay, I like it. Ryan, your android is what role?
I'm going to go for a doctor.
Hey, you're like the emergency medical doctor from Star Trek.
Yeah.
From Voyager.
Okay, all right. Well, that's wonderful.
Take your word for it.
Which one's that? Is that the one that is like, you are being rescued? Please do not resist.
No, I don't know what that one is. No, it's a hologram. He's a doctor and he's really annoying. But the doctor dies and then they just left with the hologram. People in the chat will back me up. He's good. I like him.
Oh yeah. Okay. He is good. Although I've been watching, and listen, I don't want to lose people who are only tenuously into science fiction, and then they're just holding on to see if this becomes interesting. But I just started to watch Star Trek Enterprise recently, and it's aged well, right? Unlike the rest of Star Trek, which I love, which aged badly, but I love it. Star Trek Enterprise is actually.
Debate.
Listen, I said I loved it. I said I loved it. It's aged poorly, but I love it. Right. So that's how you keep everybody happy. Right.
I'm not so.
I disagree. The original series.
Not look happy.
I'm just saying, man. There's a whole world of people out there who are going to disagree with that.
I'm just surprised at how good Enterprise is, and I need somebody to back me up. I had a conversation with two of my nerdy friends the other day, and they lambasted me for it. They roasted me for liking Enterprise.
I just can't, Scott Bakula's not called Sam, and that's upsetting. Because you keep expecting him to say, "Oh boy," it's like, come on. Everyone getting their reference? Everyone getting their reference? Or am I the only one that's old enough?
Just you're the only one that's old enough.
It's Quantum Leap.
Yeah, I got that.
Enough.
You guys, thank you.
You're more sci-fi than me, it sounds like.
I need Dan. Where's Dan? It's all these. Oh man.
Right. So based on the characters that you are, you will then have to choose a number from 2 to 5. That's the next stage. And this is, I suppose, if you want to knit it to Dungeons and Dragons, this is your core stat.
Knit it. Love it.
That was purely an accident. But I'll take that as a clever pun. A higher number between 2 and 5 means you're better at lasers. So as we said before, it's technology, science, cold rationality, calm and precise action. That's lasers. That's a higher number. A lower number means you're better at feelings. It's intuition, diplomacy, seduction. Interesting. Wild, passionate action. So where do we fall on the scale? And again, you'll have to keep reminding me of this when it comes to making your rolls.
I'm a number 2. It makes sense, doesn't it? Dangerous explorer just doesn't think. There's no logic in there.
No, I'm going for all the lasers, all of them. Number 5. That's it.
Well, then I'll go.
Soldier,
you're a hot shot soldier
with all the
lasers. Wow.
Yeah, man. I'm going all the way.
As an android doctor, I think it's important to understand. You need to have some bedside manner. And you need to have some, and then you also have to be good at what you do. So I'm going to go right down the middle, 3, I think.
Very nice.
Range.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Range. Yeah. With that in mind, I need your names. Now here on the sheet it says, give your character a cool space adventure name. So what have we got for today's foray?
Hello, my name is Pal. 8999.
And I am Oobleck Booglek.
Kelly, did you make that up, or can you remember that name exactly as you said it?
I jotted it down. I made it up, but I jotted it down just so I can remember.
My name is very important that you pronounce correctly. Otherwise, you insult my mother, and I have all of the lasers. My name is Pin. Say it to me now. Repeat it.
Pin.
Pin?
That was perfect. Well done, Pal.
Pin?
You bastard! How dare you? That is it. That is Pin. How else it is Pin? Say it properly.
Pin.
Pin. No. Oh my gosh, we're gonna fall out.
I'm trying. I'm
getting my knitting out. It's too stressful.
Oh,
I feel the anger rising.
It is easy. It is just Pin.
Exactly. Exactly. There is nothing wrong with this.
Like the things you use for acupuncture.
Pin.
No, it's nothing like that. It's Pin. Oh my god.
Pin.
Okay, we'll come back to this.
Say it.
We'll come back to this later. It's okay.
It is like what many other of the languages on Earth call a pineapple.
So while this conversation occurs,
correctly?
I assume this is what happens when the captain is indisposed. On your, I suppose you're by the captain. You remember and you recognise what you've got on you. You have a consortium uniform with a built-in vac suit for spacewalks, a super sweet space phone camera communicator scanner thingy, and that has a universal translator in it, but which I imagine that one of you has elected not to utilize if there is a name problem here. I don't know how that works with the universal translator. A variable beam phase pistol, which is set to stun usually, which I assume that means that there is a kill function. I'm just going to read between the lines there. So, your player goals are to get your character involved in crazy space adventures and try to make the best of them. That's it. Which is why you can see that this could last 10 minutes, if the chaos ensues.
We're not having fun.
Yeah. Yeah, after all of that, after all of that, trying to get on the stream, everyone's like, this sucks. But you have a character goal. I think it's something that's helpful to sort of bear in mind if you need to sort of go back to something. It says choose one or create your own. So I don't know if you guys have picked. I'm not going to read them out here, but I mean, just for example, some goals are shoot bad guys, become captain. That's an interesting one. Find new worlds. Solve mysteries, meet aliens, that sort of stuff. So it's just a sort of general goal. What have you guys thought about as a general character goal?
I, much like my actual player, just want to find love.
Oh, I think Pin just wants to find someone to kill. But I'm not allowed to kill my friends, my colleagues, apparently. So I have to kill specific people. I think they're bad. I have to think they're bad. Then I kill them.
I love mysteries. Who doesn't like mysteries? I want to solve all of the mysteries.
Oh man! Well, listen. The first mystery is you have to pick an issue, a problem with your spaceship. We'll get into the strengths, but this is the last part of the setup before we start the game proper. You have to pick one problem. It's fuel hog, only one medical pod, horrible circuit breakers, and grim reputation. So that means that if you pick fuel hog, you always need energy crystals. If you pick only one medical pod, then Captain Darcy is the only person who's currently in the medical pod. Horrible circuit breakers. In battle, consoles tend to explode on the bridge. I suppose that's a classic of Star Trek, isn't it? And grim reputation. Captain Darcy did some bad stuff in the past. So as a team, as a group, what do you guys think?
I'm leaning, based on the character bios that have been given, you know, a mysterious, a dangerous explorer and a hotshot soldier. I feel like grim reputation.
Yeah.
You like his mercenaries, aren't you?
Because you're it's a little Firefly-ish now, isn't it? I'm feeling like it's a little dark. It's a little sort of, a little underhanded. So you guys going grim reputation?
I'm up for that. Let's do it.
Yeah, I'm quite happy with that.
Maybe we're supposed to be part of the consortium, but we're the dregs. Can't they send all the problems to one ship? So
you like flunked out so many times.
They were like the suicide. You guys go in
Suicide Squad. Yeah.
the Uncharted space. You guys go in.
I don't know. If I'm sort of sat there thinking maybe we're not good enough to be the Suicide Squad. You know that they've got actual skills. Maybe.
Yeah, you're the ones that are left in the prison after the Suicide Squad are taken away on their mission, right?
Yeah. We've just escaped out the hole at the side of the prison.
So the last thing is you need to pick, as a group, you need to pick two strengths of the Raptor. So it can be fast, nimble, well-armed, powerful shields, superior sensors, cloaking device, or fighter craft. I assume you've got your PDFs in front of you. You can have a quick check. Is there anything that you think you need as advantages on your ship? Is there anything that maybe...
I like the idea of fighter craft, because that means we could all go and pilot something ourselves.
A little bit of Battlestar Galactica action, getting the Raptors. And
So does fighter craft mean that we've got like little crafts?
We've got like little crafts, like little one-man, like X-wings.
Pin likes that. Pin likes
I like the sound of that.
I'm going to say, if it comes to it, you'll probably have to roll to see what quality that they're in when if and when you need them.
And then I feel like while we're out,
but having one for each of you, 3 of them, I think that makes sense. Yeah. Sorry, go on, Ryan.
I was going to say maybe, so three ships. And then I think one of them maybe should be powerful shields so that in case we're out fighting, no one can get in on our ship.
No, that's clever.
Sounds like a good idea.
Yeah.
My suggestion on that would be that either like cloaking devices is likelier to prevent people from boarding you. Shields, I would say, are only for, if you're attacked, you can rebuff like a fair amount of damage without going into sort of a critical status, right? But if you wanted to stop people from boarding you, I would assume maybe the cloaking device. It's entirely up to you guys.
I think that's a really good idea, personally.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm torn.
Cloaking
Happy
Both
with
are
either.
good.
Let's go for
device.
cloaking device. I like to listen to the GM.
Firecrafts and
Well, it's,
cloaking device.
if the objective is to stop people from being boarded, I assume that the cloaking device is a better option. Okay, wonderful. Well, we will discuss as we go. We'll play, sort of play an open hand if you like, because that's how Lasers and Feelings work. So as we go, we'll explain how the roles work. But to begin with, we need to create a space adventure. So the last thing to do is, can 3 of you roll a d6 for me, please? All 3 of you roll a d6. I shall also roll a d6. And in alphabetical order, that's Brad, Christine, Ryan. Can you and with enough time for me to explain each outcome on the roll table,
Okay.
give me your numbers, please.
A 2.
2. So, the Hive Armada.
Ooh. Hive Armada.
So the Hive Armada's the threat. The Hive Armada wants to.
Sean, are you hiding your face from the stream for a
Oh, I
reason?
didn't. No, I didn't do that on purpose. Because I'm not. I don't have my usual setup, so I forgot. I can't see necessarily what I look like. Oh yeah, this is so we can dub it in later with whatever happens in the story. You were murdered by the Hive Armada. What's your number, Christine?
I got a 3.
Well, that means that the Hive Armada wants to bond with.
I got a 6.
Wants to bond with the alien artifact.
Oh, that's good. I like that.
Interesting.
Maybe this is where I can truly understand what love is.
And what that will do is, if the Hive Armada manage to bond with the alien artifact, it will reverse time. Jesus, that's an unusual one. Okay, so there we go. I'm going to assume that you're going to start at Captain Darcy's side. The dog, Captain Darcy's personal space dog. It's a space dog, of course. Is calling you to his side, his bedside. What conversation are you having after Captain Darcy's been put under by the something else?
1 second.
Oh, we'll go deal with Sydney and Gracie.
Well, it appears Captain Darcy has gone into cryostasis while the something else has taken over his mind.
Oh.
The stasis pod is set for 2 days.
Right. Okay. He's not going to wake up. He's going to stay like this. Yeah. I don't know what my accent is anymore.
It's just nondescript
Well, I guess-
Scandi, is it?
I guess.
I like it.
What is about accents here?
I guess, Sean, are you? How do we get in? I guess for me to put him in the machine, right? Put him in the thingy pod. Do you want me to roll for that?
Well,
How successfully I managed to get him in the cryopod
Have you got?
or the medical pod?
The thing is, so he's already in the medical pod. He's just been
Okay,
as the doctor of the ship, you have determined that for the next few days, there's nothing to do at the moment within your estimation to rouse Captain Darcy from the cryopod, or it's a medical pod. It's not necessarily he's passed out medically in a coma, but the effects of the something else have put him out of commission.
Like
Okay.
preservation fluid.
Yes, yeah, he's in some sort of viscous fluid. Yeah, and the monitors are going crazy. There's all sorts of stuff going on, and one of the things you have to do is find a cure for what's going on. What is the something else, and how is it affecting Captain Darcy, and how long will he last? But as that happens, or what noise does your communicator make when a ship wants to communicate with you?
Oh, communicate. I thought that was a ship-wide alarm then.
Yeah.
It is. It's a shipwide alarm telling you that there's an alert coming in at the, and
Maybe
someone
that's
is
it.
needed in the.
Oh.
In the...
Maybe in a Spaceballs version, it's just is like everyone's jumps out of the skin every time a communicator talks to them.
So there is
Okay.
we need somebody at the helm. There's we're getting a hail. We're getting a hail from.
No, I will go. This is no problem. And I just walk straight out.
Yeah, and Pin goes, hello, ooh, got into a medical coma and made him captain. Okay, I'm going. Okay, we'll go follow him. All right.
Well,
bye.
I feel like as the highest ranking medical officer here, I should also be in charge, and I'm gonna scuttle as well
So,
to the bridge.
When you get to the bridge, what sort of design is it? Are you in a sleek, nice sort of Star Trek 09 Abrams verse? Starship?
Well, I was thinking more Wild West Firefly sort of clunky, bit
It
downtrodden.
used to be nice. I think it
Yeah,
used to be
yeah.
nice,
Be really
and it's had a
nice.
few patches.
3 previous owners sort of thing. One of those.
Five.
Everyone's left
Five
their own mark on it. Okay.
But it's 5 previous owners, one which may still own it because they disappeared. No one's found their bodies yet, but they could still be out there somewhere.
Happened to
So-
cross the ship.
Ooh. So on the screen, it's a jumble of alien languages that you're not quite sure that you know, and there are some other members on your team, obviously, but they, as ranking members on the ship, even though you're perhaps not, that you wouldn't dine at the captain's table, you know the captain well, and you have ranking positions in the ship. So there are a few bods around to support you, but really they don't do anything that they're not told to do. They're extras, if you like, right? So there's a jumble, there's a loud piercing noise and a jumble of alien sort of symbols on the screen. It's sort of like the equivalent of a 56k modem. It's like an alien modem trying to connect with you. What do you do?
I'm gonna get my translator thing and I'm gonna hold it up because we got the scanner translator.
You need to hold yours. I can just activate mine.
I have no idea what any of you are talking about.
Okay, well, I think that then in that case, one of you, Christine or Ryan, has to roll a lasers check, and the other person can give them a dice to help with that, because you're both.
I'll let you do that one.
Are you sure?
And remember, I can't
you.
remember your numbers, and so I don't know if you roll a good or a bad. You have to let me know.
So my number's 5, but so from the rules,
you need to roll a 4 or lower.
Yeah. But
so how it works is if you're rolling 4 feelings, if you're rolling 4 lasers, you need to roll below your number, and if you're rolling 4 feelings, you have to roll above your number. So remember, Ryan's number is 3. So that means that he has an equal chance of success and failure with both lasers and feelings. And then Bradley and Christine, you skew on either sides of the scale, don't you? So you have.
I'll give you. So you can roll two d6s.
Okay. So am I prepared though? Because it's my translator.
Not on this occasion, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah, everyone's got a universal.
Fell off the table.
Yeah,
everyone's got a universal translator.
I appreciate your hustle, though.
That's okay. Well,
you've got to ask, of course.
So I rolled a 6. That's a fail, isn't it, for the things, and a 2. So I got 1 success. So I barely manage it, and the GM inflicts a complication, harm, or cost. Lovely. Okay.
Right.
Yes. So there are varying degrees of success. So if none of the dice succeed, it goes wrong, and the GM says how things got worse somehow. If 1 die succeeds, you barely manage it. The GM inflicts a complication, harm, or cost, which is what happens this time. If 2 dice succeed, you do it well, good job. And if you roll your exact number, which would be 2, 5, or 3. No, have I said 2?
2, 3, or 5.
3. Yeah. Then you get laser feelings. So it's almost like a critical success, I suppose, if you want to think about it in those terms. And then you get to ask the GM a question, and they'll answer you honestly. Now, the thing is, I'll just make something up because I have no idea what's going on. But I will honestly make something up though. So
Yeah.
So
canon. It's canon. It's made up.
yes, exactly, yeah. Which, let's be honest, that's how GMs roll anyway, right? We all know that. Okay, so what you can see is you can now, with your sort of partial success, if you like, the screen contorts, the alien symbols have given way to an image of an alien, but you're not able to see what the alien species looks like. You can just see that they're very angry, and in fact they're even more angry that you've taken this long to get through, and you still can't understand what they're saying. So now you can hear words. You can hear them saying some sort of alien language.
Why can you not talk universal common? This is ridiculous.
Well, the thing
Are you
is,
appealing? Are you appealing to
Aren't
their?
you supposed to have the feelings? Aren't you supposed to be persuasive and diplomatic?
Yeah. So are you asking them if they can activate, or are you asking them genuinely if they cannot speak? Are you just exclaiming, or are you?
Well, I'm going to exclaim and go. Do you not have a language that we know?
Yeah. Okay. I think that's a role for you. Yeah, for sure. I think that's a feelings role. Definitely. I think you're sort of trying to appeal to them person to person, aren't you?
Yeah, but I've only got one die.
Way.
I'm assuming.
Well, yes, I don't think anyone's been able to help you necessarily, and you're not massively prepared at this point.
I wouldn't say I'm prepared.
Can I help him? Can I help him by pushing him slightly to the front, so he's in front of the camera a bit more? So if they're talking, there's like talking to him.
So you have a bit. You're saying you sort of have a bit of a dodgy setup, basically. It's not like the beautiful view screen that you have, and
yeah,
it just shows the captain's chair. It like keeps everybody else out peripheral.
Yeah, and it's like a sort of really dodgy sort of 4x3 image or whatever. And
yeah.
It's like,
If you want to take the call, you need to sit in the captain's chair here, and I'm gonna dust it off for him.
Oh, thank you very much. Yes, I deserve to be here.
Is that acceptable, Pin? Is this,
I don't I'm gonna sit here and go, well, I can't understand what they're saying, so fine, sit there, but you don't get comfortable, okay? Just don't do it. All right. I don't know where I'm going now with this accent.
I love it.
It's great. It's great.
It's got a little bit cold
absolutely
Italian. I'm
perfect.
really
Mine's
sorry.
splitting between 3 different countries at the minute, so
Also, listen, unlike fantasy, I suppose, which falls into certain archetypes, these are space accents. You can do whatever you like, and they can shift and change and ebb and flow.
Might be a bit Welsh later.
Like
Might be a bit Italian. Let's see what comes out.
I haven't thought of a voice for the Hive Armada yet, so that'll be fun.
I forgot about that.
So just quickly before we move on, just to let people know at home, you can take the prepared status and get an extra dice. I guess that you can query the DM, but it would be or the GM, but it would be under. Yeah, it would be under their sort of supervision.
And I tried to help him by dusting the chair off.
And that's your decision then, Sean.
Yeah, no. I would say that's putting you front and center in the captain's chair in this instance is helpful. So you can have 2 dice for that, Brad, for sure.
So that's 2 successes.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Wait, didn't you roll one that was not a success?
No, I rolled a 3 and a 5, and I must.
Okay, my bad. Lovely.
Okay. So when sorry to ask a question. So when you roll a dice for someone who's helping you, do you have to beat your score or their score?
Your own score.
I'd say it's to beat the. I'd say it's to beat the score. Yeah, as you're rolling it, you roll the 2 dice and you get to. It's your score, basically.
Okay.
Although they haven't specified in the rules, and it could be interesting if somebody wants to add. If you want to add a feelings or a lasers onto somebody else's
I didn't offer any help because my feelings score is hard to hit because I'm a 5. So I was like,
no, you give someone a dice, but it's not
like
their number.
Advantage, for example,
cool.
in D&D. Yeah, for now, let's do it that way.
Cool.
Okay, well then you succeed well and do your job. That's with 2 dice successes. So
we'll see if that actually works, though.
So yeah, well, what you've done now is you've your charisma has broken them out of their. I suppose you'd see it later on as like a haughtiness or a sort of, and they sort of brought themselves down to your level. And what they've done is they've also one of your
so informal that they just like don't know what to do. Yeah,
they sort of think, God, we thought we were talking to intelligent species, but we're going to have to dull ourselves down for this one. But you got through to them either way. And also, I think there's an intern or something, or whoever you have has bashed the control panel, or everything flickers, and you can fully see this Armada or member of the Hive Armada, and they introduce themselves by saying, "You may already know us. We are the Hive Armada. We have come across space in legions. We find the artifact. We always have, through time. We always will." And sometimes it almost sounds like they're speaking in reverse, which I can't do, obviously, and that you're hearing it as if it's being played back the correct way. And what do they look like? Have any of you encountered the Hive Armada before? What exploits have you, if you have encountered them, and maybe the captain had encountered them? What can you recall of the Hive Armada? And this
Like the idea that the captain's encountered them, but none of us know.
He's talking to Treacle.
I think I believe that the captain has once tried to interface with the Hive Armada.
What does interface mean? Like,
well,
you don't want to know. You don't want to know.
Hold on, and I get like my medical journal out, and I'm like, when Daddy Hive Armada and a Mummy Hive Armada love each other very much, they try to interface with one another to build a stronger Hive Armada.
Oh, is this artifact that they are talking about then? You want to interface with this artifact?
I think what he's saying is that the captain tried to,
well, I mean,
really?
many humanoids like Captain Darcy take one lover in their lifetime. A Hive Armada would ultimately be many lovers.
You know nothing about the Hive mind. Oh, I just realised my voice was too similar to Ryan's android, so I have to change.
Thank you.
We will take your bodies and we will destroy them, and only your mind will join with us.
I mean, to be fair, I am an android. I have no mind.
Well,
I am just.
How can we become just minds?
I thought they were just looking for an artifact, and now I don't know what accent I'm now. And I think now they say like because they're looking for this thing and we're not there, and they want it. We're just in like I don't understand why they're going for us.
There's the Welsh.
Where's the guns?
It went Cockney sort of chat, then Welsh.
There is a little bit of East London in there as well. Yeah, there is, isn't there? So while this is happening, you hear and what does the Hive mind look like? By the way, the envoy of the Hive mind, which is who you're speaking to.
They're just joined minds. I imagine they're like this disembodied cloud.
Yeah, who doesn't love there's always every Marvel thing. There's some sort of disembodied cloud, yeah. And coming out of the cloud,
much like a school of fish, right? Like in Finding Nemo, when the school of fish do the charades.
Yeah, that's exactly it. So it's like what it is it's like it's a cloud of almost like they're sort of microscopic, almost like nanomachines, and they form like a cloud. They're so microscopic you don't know if they're material, organic, or if they're machine, but they're very, very small, fine, and they make a cloud that can form itself into a shape of mimicry. But obviously you know it's not a person, you know it's a thing. And it comes out of almost like a sort of beehive-like structure. So you have the honeycomb structure of a beehive, and then out of that's where they live, and out of it comes into the form to sort of form into.
I feel like the captain would make a joke here, something like, "Oh, behave."
I feel like that's Ripper coming out.
Where is your captain?
Indisposed. You are talking to myself, who is vice captain, of course.
Excuse me?
Another
What's
time.
this?
Another time. No. Another time.
What? But the captain, he's in a box, basically. That, you know, he's not very well. He's not very well.
All right, so I'm not. This is not in the rules, but I find it difficult to. The thing is, with
Well, I got to stop doing an accent. Is it distracting
no,
from the
the
story?
accents
Great.
never stop doing the accent. The thing is, your sort of your laser's contradiction to Bradley's character's feelings is an interesting one. So I think Bradley needs to.
Okay.
I'm almost going to put in. Can we rule like a contested role? So I think. Let's say that Brad rolls for his feelings because he's trying to say he's the vice captain, who I assume you're putting forward that you have the sort of powers of the captain in this stage. But Christine, your character, is sort of undermining that. So I'm going to say let's see what happens if you both roll. If Christine rolls for 4 lasers and Brad rolls for feelings, let's see if you succeed or fail each.
I rolled a 2.
And I got a 4. But you're
So what does
2.
that mean
It's
for
no,
both
you
of
got
you?
lasers and feelings, though, doesn't it?
I got
That's
laser
your
feelings,
That's his
yeah.
number.
Oh, well, there you go.
laser
Well,
feelings, so he wins, doesn't
absolutely
he?
amazing. Yeah, of course. So
He
in that
stamps on my
instance-
foot, and I'll just go off,
Right, please.
and I'm out of shot.
Here, let me take a look at that for you.
So a laser that's amazing, Brad. So laser feelings mean you get an insight into what's going on, and you can ask the GM a question, and they'll answer you honestly. So they have examples of some questions here, but I'm sure that you can think of a good one.
I suppose slyly, I'm trying to, with my feelings, intuit whether the cloud is getting annoyed with our antics.
Okay, so you'll know that the hive mind, this cloud, maybe the captain, they have maybe they have he'll have his sort of captains once a month. At the end of the month, he'll have a sort of get together with all the staff, and all the new sort of crew can all sort of chat and meet the captain, and you guys are there. Sort of sometimes you can't be bothered to go, but you turn up anyway. And so you've heard him tell stories about the hive mind and his encounters with the hive mind, maybe on a previous ship or maybe under a previous mission. You'll know that the hive mind. They're very singular in their goal. They don't get offended. They don't get upset. They don't. This sort of discourse doesn't affect them. But if they deem that there's no reason not to destroy you, they'll just go for it. They're very difficult to reason with, but by that merit, they don't really mind the foibles of alien behavior.
Then I'm gonna lie to them. I know where your artifact is, all right? So I don't think you want to do anything hasty now. I'm turning into...
Love it. Love it. I love it. Well, that's got to be a feelings roll. I wonder if the android who's sort of patching you up. Yeah, go on.
Can I say I'm prepared? Because this seems like a pretty dangerous action.
Remind me of your character's role. You're a
dangerous explorer.
You're a dangerous explorer. Can you give me some sort of role play about artifacts then? As an explorer, you'll know a little bit about artifacts to bluff them.
So I'm going to say that, I've got a little collection of really small artifacts that I've taken from the planets we've explored in my room. And I have no idea whether that's the artifact they're looking for, but I'm going to say that it is.
Okay. All right. Yeah, in that case, I think you're prepared. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Cool.
Let me know your result.
2 successes, 3 and a 4.
Wow. Okay. Very nice. So the aliens, the hive mind, it goes, and it shifts into a figure that what it is. It's got the hive mind. It's got the sort of smoke and the particles, almost forming into I don't know. They almost look like iridescent sort of scales, and they like metallic scales, and it forms into every demonic figure that every race that it has and every alien species it's conquered. The form of the devil in that culture is what it shifts into. So sometimes it will look like Lucifer. So I don't know. I mean, is there an android devil? What's the sort of equivalent of what would...
Robot Lucifer.
Yeah. Yes, it is called the delete button. It is the recycle bin.
Yeah, it's the override function. Yes. Okay, so it's forming into all of these different demons. Are you going to try and figure out? And it's not saying anything. It's just.
So I'm going to say, I can lead you there. You just need to follow our ship.
So you're bluffing. You're trying to say that you're going to lead it where, or what are you trying to bluff it with?
Inside, I have no idea. We'll work out as we go.
You'll lead them to the artifact. That's what you're basically saying.
Yeah.
Okay. As I think I'd like you to roll for that, but I think that maybe do we think that the doctor fixing the android fixing the leg because it got stamped on? Do you think that gives you a help action? I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm gonna rule that you can give a help action.
I can. Yes, we can lead you to the artifact.
Yeah, we can lead you to an artifact for definite. That's okay.
No, I'll give him the help action.
Yeah, go on. That's 2 dice for you, Brad.
Oh wow. Okay. So that's a 2, a 3.
Oh,
and a 2 again.
No way.
So that's a double. That's a
double
double
laser
laser feelings.
Double laser feelings.
Okay. In that case, I'm gonna, with the double laser feelings, I'm gonna
Add a critical success.
Yeah, so I'm going to allow all 3 of you to ask a question, if that makes sense. Is that okay, Brad? I'm going to allow everyone on the team to ask a question. And as that happens, you're being scanned. So there's no time constraint, but after the questions you've asked, you have to deal with the fact that one of the extras, or one of the, the sort of comms officer has gone, we're being scanned. They're scanning us. Acting captain. Or whatever role you have. Acting captain, they're scanning us.
Quiet down. Don't not out loud.
It's got one of those magic things on spaceships where somehow only the conversation that they direct at them can be heard, right? I don't know why that happens.
Yeah, true. No one else can actually hear
people, and but it's only when they direct it to them. Someone furiously pressing the mute button, like anything. So feel free to ask your question.
I'll let you go first. Yeah, I'm thinking.
I'd like to ask what you think that what's the artifact look like? What's that like? Just in case, so we know because we got a couple look a bit the same. So maybe perhaps you can give us a hint, so we don't waste any time, because they're at other ends of the solar system. So we don't want to go the wrong way.
All the questions at once, so that there's no way of building questions on top of each other. So the Hive mind will answer that question to you, because they're also interested in acquiring it. So
why we've already asked now. So we've already asked that. Why did the captain reject you?
Ooh. Did you ever ask an ex that?
It is my job to collect facts so that science can happen.
Got some answers rattling around in there.
And then
and then Brad, you've got a question to ask.
Do I actually unknowingly have the artifact?
Do you have the artifact? Okay.
Yeah, unknowingly in that little shelf
of your artifacts. Yeah, that's a good question. Okay, so Christine's question or Pin's question was, just refresh me.
What does it look like, basically?
Yes. Okay. So the Hive mind says the artifact is organic. It is species, and then it and it's still shifting from sort of all the different pantheon of sort of demonic figures. And Ryan's question was, about the captain? Why did the captain reject?
After that, by the way, I hope it's your Pin.
It answers. It flashes all sorts of sort of iridescent colours that feel dangerous to you, blacks and yellows and reds, but not a sort of passionate red, like a sort of violent, sort of hot pink fusion of red in it. It goes. The captain was not ready.
I mean, he does. He always comes prepared.
I mean, I've had some exes like that, and I'm very,
this is why I kept telling the captain.
For you.
This is why I kept telling the captain, always bring protection. But for some reason, he says his phaser was enough.
He was not ready, but he will be. And then the question of, do you unknowingly have the artifact? The hive mind. Is the artifact a dog? Yeah, it is now. Ownership. We do not understand ownership. We are all we touch. You do not have the artifact, but we will follow you for now. And
good, because I definitely know where the artifact is.
And it's sort of, it doesn't. It's one of these alien races that doesn't really get the nuances of human sort of conversation. So if you say you're going to take it to the artifact, it probably thinks, well, if it doesn't turn out to be the artifact, we'll just kill everybody, right, and assimilate them. That's you can assume it's one of those sorts of aliens, right? One of those unknowable, weird sort of things. So you notice that so you've been told, and on the sensors it's showing that they are scanning the ship. What would you like to do?
Black, do you... well, can we hit the mute button first?
Yeah, so they don't hear us.
Yeah.
They go off screen. They just go completely off screen after agreeing to follow you. The screen.
Okay, I have no idea what to do.
Well, I think they are looking for the captain. And you said he was indisposed, so they don't know what that means. But maybe we can get can the cloaking device be more locational?
Oh, good idea, cloaking device.
Are we just in deep space, Sean, or are we near a planet, or?
Well, you sort of know that it's one of these unwritten rules, isn't it? Where if you can hyperspace jump and a ship, you say to a ship, "Follow us," you can pretty much safely assume that so far they've scanned your engines and then they understand the hyperjump technology. They haven't come back to complain that they're not going to be able to keep up with you. So you are in deep space, but you are likely to shortly, because I imagine you're under some kind of time pressure. Not a lot, but not a little. You're probably able to go to the maps room and have a look at some planets and decide to plot a course and maybe your next course of action. So they're not sort of, they know that as they're scanning you, they put their shields up, but they don't arm their weapons. That's what you're being told by the sort of crewman. Crewman, what's the crewman's name? I don't know.
Mr. C.R. Uman.
Mr. Uman. Mr. Uman says, what accent does Mr. Uman have?
Australian.
You can have to...
They've put their shields up. Acting captain and other commanding officers. They put their shields up, but they haven't armed their weapons, so they're not. Don't look like they're going to attack us right now.
This seems logical. Maybe, Oobleck, when you have many maps in your room of places you wish to visit to find artifacts.
Yes, many blank pages.
Well, maybe we should find one of those and just take them on, I believe it is called a wild goose chase.
Grand idea. Yes, we'll do that. And I just sprint out of the room to my quarters.
Wow, he really loves to move fast, doesn't he?
I don't know. What happens though when they figure out that they're just following us and the crazy duck chase? So I don't know.
Well, I mean, they haven't really told us what the artifact looks like. So really, we can be like, oh no, you gave us the wrong information.
That's true. That's true. Okay. Let's do that.
So, do you meet in the sort of the comms room that the captain and his other commanders might meet in there and plan their course? You know, there's like a sort of star map, and you can sort of feed it data, and you can sort of plan your next move. Are you going to meet in that room of the ship?
Oobleck sprints in out of breath, page in hand.
I found a good place. It is called a Wabberjock.
Yes.
Oh, can you just explain Wabberjock to everyone, please?
Wabberjock is it's a planet that is tidally locked. So one side is really hot, one side is really cold, and then like a band in the middle where it is just right.
That's great. So, what's the plan that you guys are conceiving then with this planet? They will follow you. You're fairly confident that they will follow you to this planet, and then I assume they'll await your sort of knowledge of where it is, the artifact.
I think we should head down to planet. I know that there are some hostile creatures in there, which is where Pin will come in handy. Maybe during this time, while scanning the while scanning the buildings and the old temples, we can convince the hive mind that we are in the right place, and this is the thing they wish to interface with.
Okay. They did not say, bad accent, what it looked like. So
yes, so we do not know.
So
we could be like
organic. So
we could be like, oh, is this not the thing you were looking for? These are not the droids you were looking for.
Okay,
ha ha ha. And then we could.
I'm very happy to shoot at anything, but I think this hive thing is very hard to shoot. So
well, can I roll like a medicine check? Can I roll
what are you trying to find out? What are you trying to do?
Well, like I feel like if we're trying to, like, you know, which one of the hive we'd need to take out to, you know, when as a doctor.
So you want to pour through the medical logs to see if there is like maybe information on the hive mind, maybe one's been tested on, or the hive armada, and then so maybe there's a weak point in their physiology, or is that what you're looking for, a medical sort of weak point?
Because then that way we can make sure that they don't come back, and we can carry on.
Okay.
Going through space.
That's a lasers roll, because you're looking at the science of the thing.
Can I help by going through the captain's personal logs to see if he's got anything? So sharing that, especially if the hive armada was there's X.
You can. You have to tell me what the captain's quarters are like, and then you have to tell me what your findings are. But yeah, I think you can do that. Yeah, if you could tell me that.
I guess so. Okay. I was trying to help by like sharing some of the load of what we're looking through. So he's looking through the official records.
You can absolutely. You can give him the extra dice, but I want to hear you describe the captain's quarters to me.
Okay. I'm thinking.
What sort of quarters does this guy have?
I'm thinking Captain Kirk official, you know, the original one where it's you know, it's quite bright, but there's actually an odd amount of glittery things and shiny materials to make it look a little bit more fantastical than
good contrast to the grim reputation.
A tiny,
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
A tiny desk that doesn't have any paperwork on it or anything. Like so he obviously doesn't do a lot of work. In at all, and then there's just a wall that is just covered in guns, and maybe a few trophies, you know, from stuff, and you know, maybe there's some species of or examples of species that are actually crew members that their heads are on a mount. You know, maybe he's that kind of
Jesus. Okay. So what, he's mounted his ex-crew members or something on
The double crossed
No,
him.
don't
Or
have his
ex-girlfriends, we don't know.
Yeah, you don't know.
Ex-partners.
Maybe it's a way of not being
Okay, all right, I like that. While you're in there
Um,
poking around, Ryan, don't forget you have got your 2 rolls. We'll get to that. Don't give me the outcomes just yet. While you're doing that, one of the security officers, and you can tell it's a security officer because they're wearing like a sort of deep crimson sort of leotard. They always wear a leotard, a space leotard. They come in hefting a rifle, yeah. I'll need an accent, obviously, though, because I don't get to decide the accents in this game of Glazes.
Southern American if he's gun toting.
Drawl.
Okay.
Southern drawl.
Okay. And a name as well, please.
Jackson.
Jackson. Okay. Jackson walks in. That's the sound that the door makes when it opens. I'd ask you to make up the name, the noise, but then there's too much onus on you to make stuff up. So Jackson walks in. He's hefting the gun. What are you doing in here, soldier? I was just doing my rounds.
Oh, great! You bought a big gun. That's exactly what I need because we're going down to the planet to try and solve a problem for the captain. So.
Oh, we're going down there! I can't wait.
Can I just take that'd be great. Can I borrow your gun, please? Thank you very much. We're like acting captains now, so we're like, you know.
Yes,
So
I'm
you're
my
saying-
captain. You're carrying your gun, or him, sorry.
I'm sorry. You're saying that the captain is indisposed, and there are now 3 acting captains. Is that right?
No.
Yes.
I am acting captain.
That is correct. It's sort of like back in 2021, there was a games, and 2 of the people who jumped over a pole shared a golden medal. It's sort of like that, but with the captain's job.
It's just that we work it out, you know what I mean? So like we take out different.
It works. Don't question. Don't question.
Yeah, we've got like
You know what?
Different.
I really have a
skills.
chain of command, and I really need to
That's
escalate
all right,
this.
because anything to do with guns, I love them, and then like anything to do with like translating and machinery and stuff, that would be Pal,
That is me.
There's a tremendous amount of paperwork that goes into this gun. I mean, if I give it to you, then I have to do a transfer form, and then that has to be signed by.
Give him the gun. Nobody cares.
It's okay, because the paperwork. It just look like we're not.
Okay,
we're not. I mean, we're not the topmost place in the world. In terms of the boat, in terms of the ship, and the boat, the ship.
That's what you call it, the boat.
The consortium, the boat.
We may not be the best outfit, but I take my job seriously, and that includes the paperwork that is attached to this. You can't just go willy-nilly into the night,
and
that dark sky.
I hate to tell you this, but the captain, he took your paperwork, and he looked very grateful for it. And she opens the cabinet, and there's all his paperwork, and it's like shoved in, and it's all a bit screwed up. And it's just like. So, I mean, we're in space. There's not a lot of trees, so there's not a lot of paper, really. So, maybe we should just don't worry about it this time. We'll be fine.
Okay. Well, see, the thing is, it was a logical role to begin with, wasn't it? And the sort of justification, and then it moved into feelings. So, but I will give you.
There is logic, though.
Action.
Okay.
It started logic, I think, but then it moved into the persuasion element, which is the emotional element. But so did Bradley, and that was a good job. So I think two dice for you to see whether the soldier will give you the gun without instant. I suppose or the security officer.
Six, haven't I? Got to roll a 5 or a 6. It's a bit tight. Shit, that's a 2. And that's another 2. What are the odds? Okay, yeah, I failed.
You don't get a critical failure in this, do you? Not necessarily.
If none of your dice succeed, the GM tells you how it gets worse.
That's true. Well, I'm going to tell you how this gets worse. I'm going to take this here gun. I'm going to leave you. I don't care about paperwork on your end. But I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go and file the report, and I'm going to give you all the paperwork. And you're going to have to be called to a tribunal. All that stuff's going to go down. That's how it's going to get worse for you. Administration work. All right, a bit of admin.
Oh, that's fine.
Okay.
We've got Armada to deal with, all right? So, like, you can take your paperwork and shove it.
And with that, Jackson, he hefts his gun and he leaves you to it to collect the paperwork, and he leaves to go and file his reports. And you know you're going to get like a really nasty, like passive-aggressive email, whatever equivalent of like the communication.
really neatly written.
Yeah, and he's
But
kind
like
of
really
misspelling my name.
fastidious and nasty.
They always misspell my name as well, and it's just.
And he'll put some stank on it. Like he'll properly, like when he writes pin, he'll really write pin down, you know. And it'll be one of those like
full name. We'll go full name.
Full name
and rank number as well.
You know, one of those.
You've even got Pal's serial number, just like all like 25 digits.
With like with Bradley's character, with yours as like witness 2 and all this stuff, and like you're CC'd, and then all of the ship's captain CC'd, everything. So if the captain comes out, he's going to get a barrage of these sort of emails. But he leaves you to it. But he does take his big gun with him. You only have the sort of phasers that you're equipped with.
Damn it! Maybe we go to the armory before we go hit the planet. Maybe.
But you have managed to retain all the paperwork, and you trundle back to the ops room, and with the paperwork. And Ryan, you're rolling 2 rolls to find if there was a weakness in the Hive Armada.
No, that was lasers, right?
Yeah.
2, which is good. On a 4, which isn't. So 1 success, 1 failure.
That's okay, because I think the failures don't count as long as you succeed, right? So that's okay. So 1 success is that you manage it, but there's a complication or a harm. So you find with the help of Pin's sort of paperwork she's scoured, there's diary notes from the captain. Can you give me a reason why he's making his diary notes on paper rather than on a computer?
Yeah, he doesn't want it traced. Because he's got a grim reputation. He wants to keep all of his stuff like analog. Wants to keep it analog.
Yeah. Also, he did put a request
got a lighter
in.
nearby, just in case.
Yeah. What, you mean he's doing it by the light of a lighter while he's doing his thing?
No. I mean, he's got like some lighter fluid and a lighter.
Just
ready to burn it.
Just in case.
I also like the idea that maybe he asked for sort of the IT department to come and sort his computer out. It's been on the blink, and they haven't done it for about like 6 cycles, right?
The captain is sounding more and more like the CEO from IT Crowd as it goes.
Yes, it is.
It's just like, yeah, he has to keep. He has to like legally, as a captain, keep a journal.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like he has to keep a
check it every so often, won't
yeah.
Takes days.
But then he can be like, oh yeah, did nothing, when he's really like sneaking off and doing other stuff. Yeah, just in space, nothing happened really. But if it's all digital, then they can track where he's all been and everything like that. So that's why. Yeah,
so you've done good work finding the Hive information in the computer, the ship's computer. You sort of know a little bit more about them. So if you want to ask any questions later on about the Hive mind themselves, you know a little bit more about them. You know that their ultimate end goal is to find the artifact, the alien artifact. You think that the whispers are You think that the whispers about this artifact are that it's only alien to you. It's they believe it to be their artifact. It's actually their artifact, Brad. I was just saying they're looking for it, but it's
all right. I can hear you when I go to the door to let the dogs out.
Okay, good. So it's not necessarily alien to them. That's the information that you've gathered. That's your partial success. So they might not be fooled if you show them a fake artifact. But you know that the Hive, the artifact is their end goal. In order to get this, they have been assimilating other beings, and what they do is they destroy the body and take the consciousness, and they sort of join it to their Hive network, which again is at this stage is completely alien to you how that actually works. But you know that it basically kills you and enslaves your consciousness, I suppose is the best way to put it. But also you're reading the captain's notes, and unfortunately, it's been a long time since you've read freehand as well. Let's think about it. You've been using computers for so long, and he is not written for very long either. He hasn't picked up
that really ages. Or Google sort of image to handwriting capture.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the OCR is terrible, and it's just scrawling. You can't really make too much of his diary out, and at this stage, you're not sure. There might be a way of figuring out what's in the diary, but at this stage, you simply can't make out what his experience with the hive mind was.
Okay, I think we should head to the planet that you mentioned, Oblek, which was
Jabberwock.
Yes, let's go there.
It was what Wabberjock. You say Jabberwock.
The name doesn't matter. The name doesn't matter.
Note taking.
The name
fastidious
doesn't matter.
Note taking, Christine.
Say pin again. Say pin again, huh? The name doesn't matter.
Your name is just complicated. You need to just change your name. Pin is just a stupid name.
You're stupid now. Oh, honestly, this is not doing my anger management any good.
This is why.
Where's my knitting? I'm gonna knit.
This is why you need the captain.
Anyway, and this is why it's just starting to pulse. And
I just think that we've got officers on the complete opposite ends of the ship because the captain moved. Right,
and this is why I should have been captain all along.
Don't you start, Sparky. Not go there.
So
please, Sparky, where's my father?
So you're ready to leave. You do know one thing though, that the captain was the person who understood about hyperspeed and hyperlight and all sorts of other things. None of you guys are engineers or anything, are you? So you need to go down into the bowels of the ship. You need to go to the engineering section, speak to the head engineer, and get them to just okay the light speed jump, because normally the captain would handle all this stuff, but all of his codes, you can't access any of his captain codes, can you? So you need to go down and directly talk to them. The
engineer should only say two things, and that is engineering. No problem.
No problem. Okay, yeah, there you go. What's that from StarCraft?
No, it was from Red Alert 2. From Red Alert 2.
No problem. Okay.
Oh, hello. Which department is this, please?
No problem. It's engineering. What do they look like, this engineer? Because I'm just not sure what sort of engineer you'd have on your ship.
I imagine they're just like these Oompa Loompa sort of formless beings.
I quite like that.
Yes, they're just sort of squat, sort of egg-shaped, formless beings, and there's two of them, and they have the exact same voice. And they look the same, but one's got a very clearly fake moustache. One that looks like it's made out of like paper, but it's just been, you know what I mean? You just have no idea why. Okay.
Oh, I see that he's still trying to do the thing. I tried to give him hormone replacement therapy so he could grow that mustache, but the paper seems to be doing just fine.
And he sort of rubs the moustache between his fingers and goes, "No problem."
So we need to make the ship go zoom zoom.
Oh, engineering? No problem. You like that? And they sort of they have a back and forth that uses, like Enchantment, the guy from Dragon Age, the Enchantment.
Oh yeah.
So they have a conversation between each other that's like just engineering and no problem, but somehow it's like a proper conversation between each other.
Like I am true.
Yeah. And the universal translator's not working at this point. Like, you don't know if it's because they're speaking maybe in a language that they've developed themselves, like a sort of
inflection based and
siblings sort of come up with their own language sometimes, don't they? And they just make it up. And so you understand there's a problem. It won't take very long to resolve, but you've got to get it right. How do you try and ascertain?
Oh, well, we just try percussive maintenance.
I bash a fist on the floor.
Well, I think that's feelings. because it certainly doesn't seem scientific.
No, wait, don't. Oh.
So roll a feelings me, please.
To be fair, I did actually. I only recently learned about percussive, like maintenance, and it helped fix my. It helped fix my lawnmower, so it works.
While Brad's doing his roll, I'm gonna give you another tip as well. This is something I realized a long time ago with Googling lots of different instruments. This is just as helpful in general. It's so good that I'm willing to spend time on this for a second. If you have a piece of technology like a DVD player or whatever, or a console that's not working, or anything like that, or even a phone, one of the things you could try: turn it off, unplug it, press all the buttons. Right, this has saved me countless times. Press all the buttons on it for a sort of, I don't know, a minute, and it runs the transistor down that's inside it. And when you plug it back in, it sort of has erased the cache and it sort of starts it again. So like, that has honestly saved my life. So this is just a little engineering. Now you're in the engineering bay. You get a little tip.
Problem.
It's recommended
because I'm not technical enough to know whether you're actually pulling my leg or.
No,
I'm not. It works.
It's not. So it's actually recommended when you restart a router to leave it for 10 minutes before turning it back on.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that will likely do a similar thing. Yeah. It'll run the sort of capacitors, I think they call it. I don't think they're transistors. I think they're capacitors.
Capacitors are what hold the charge, yeah.
Also, on a similar note, I think I'm screen sharing the entire thing, by the way, instead of cutting it down to just us. So everybody's...
Everyone's just seeing the Zoom.
Everyone's seeing my entire Zoom window, so which is fine. It's just not very professional.
That's fine.
So, speaking of not professional, how did your percussive maintenance go?
I rolled a 3, so success, but with a complication.
Okay. So the complication is that as you bash it with your wrench, I assume.
I hit my hand.
So what you do is, as you hit it with your hand, you hear the sound that you'll usually associate with the warp drive, but you hear and feel a snap. Oh, give me someone. I can't click properly. Someone give me a click. A really good. Oh yeah, and you know that you've done something to your hand.
Close your door. It's fine.
He walks out.
Is that
as an expert doctor, can I examine and fix that, please?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Please take a look.
So as you go to take a look, you feel the jolt of the warp drive, and everything for a moment goes black, because the warp drive, because if you're this close to it, the warp drive gives you like a sort of, it's almost like an electromagnetic pulse, which momentarily shuts off the nerve sort of systems running through your body, or the electric systems running through your body. So this is okay. It's normal. You've done this in warp training. You know that, like, when you go through a warp, sort of, if you're near the warp core and this goes off, you'll be okay, but you are momentarily sort of out of action and unable to sort the problem out. When you come to, you snap back. You're all lying on the floor, and that's the ship-wide alert.
I get my communicator out and go, oh, no, was that me or was that you? No, is that?
I think that's the ship-wide communication.
I like that idea that you have to flip it open 3 times.
I communicate to the bridge to find out what's going on.
Who answers your call? Who's the comms officer?
Well, the same guy before, the Australian bloke, right?
Yeah, comms officer was the Aussie, wasn't he?
Struth, the Hive mind, they're firing at us, sir. I mean, not sir. I mean, sir. I don't remember the hierarchy.
Just
I called you sir? I can't remember.
Well, I'm an android, so you can call me.
Captain, sir, so
you can call me they.
They, they're firing on us. The Hive mind, they're firing on us, Captain. I mean, not Captain, but like, I don't know who's the captain.
I'll take the captain is fine, thank you. Or you could just call me Doctor. Dr. Captain.
And you feel the ship. You feel the ship lurch and you can feel that the thing is straining. The hull is straining on the ship.
All right. So
To the fighters!
now I think we do like, maybe the cloaking device and we fuck off. Can we do
well, soldier, I feel like you would want to defend this as a hot shot. You'd want to defend this.
I took the big gun, so I don't know. Okay, maybe. All right, maybe. Okay, if you insist, I'm gonna do it. It's fine. I have been trying to calm my anger, already. So trying to keep out of these situations where I'm shooting everybody. But okay.
And I take the knitting away.
Oh no, not the safety knit.
I take the knit
knitting.
Yeah.
What's the pin are you doing?
takes the knit away. There is time for threads and there is time for needles. Now is the time for needles. And I
Does that mean get the guns?
Throw the thing behind me. Throw the knit behind me.
Into the warp core.
Yeah, throw it into the warp core.
No! And the thing just disintegrates into the most anticlimactic thing ever.
It was a mini. It was a mini four-armed jumper. That was for my nephew. So his veins start.
There you go.
So what's going to happen now? Where are you going to direct the angle?
Fine. I think there's still a part of me that's logical. That's because it's the lasers. So right, okay. Well, I can't kill those two because I kind of need them. So I get the bad guys. And is there like a turret, like Millennium Falcon?
The fighter planes, which is what Oobleck's sprinting for.
Yeah, so you can choose. You can try and see if you can access one of the guns on one of the fighter ships. Maybe there's a 2-pod fighter ship that you can jump in alongside one of the other people who are running towards it, or there is a stationary sort of laser turret. I would say that the laser turret's better at penetrating shields on big ships.
I'm going for the biggest, fattest gun.
So on that big fat gun, you're very likely to be able to attack the mothership, the main ship, if there is a big ship there.
Going,
if it is the ship firing body, that's the one you can get.
Yep, I'm gonna go get the gun, and because the laser thing isn't just like, it's not rage, it's not like barbarian rage. There's a logic to it.
Okay, that makes sense.
There's a rational logical to it. So,
it's channeled rage. Channeled.
Yeah, exactly. So I think she'll probably go up there anyway because then she can see a bit more of what's going on.
That makes sense.
It's a vantage place as well as point of attack.
I think that's wise. Yeah.
I think Pal's going to do a couple of things on the ship, so I'll let Bradley go. I'll let Bradley go next.
Into one of the fighter ships.
So
Oobleck's can go do some like Star Wars Episode 1, trying to really
you're trying to. Okay, we'll figure out what you're trying to do when you get into your ship.
When we get to mine. Yeah.
When Pin leaves, she's going to say to Pal, okay, make yourself useful, scan the ship and see if there's any weaknesses in the shields. Okay, so right, you do that. I'm going to go do this. Right. And she's really cross, but she's going to logically steer it at the bad guys.
And crewman Erman is whatever it is, Erman, isn't it?
Crewman Uman.
Crewman Uman. CR Uman.
Yeah.
Crewman Uman goes, hello. Nobody says goodbye anymore. And then he hangs up. So, just waiting for somebody to say goodbye.
Is comms in charge of scanning?
The whole department. If you get, my advice would be to get to the bridge if you wanted to do any of that.
I'm gonna make a run to the bridge,
including manoeuvring the ship and other sorts of things. Like, these people can do like the basic stuff, but they can't, they can't do the big stuff without your guidance. Yeah. Okay, good. So, who'd like to check their position first? You can't immediately jump into to these positions. You've got to go and check because it's been a while since you jumped into them. So, we're gonna see, Brad, if you can. Go and ascertain the status of the 3 fighter ships that are in there.
Yeah. I'm going to try and take the single manned one that has has missiles on it, like almost a guided missiles, because he's gonna wait for that scan, and he's gonna hit the weak point after the shields have gone down.
Okay, and how are you going to sort of ascertain very quickly which of the 3 ships is the one that is the most flight ready out of the 3?
I'm gonna ask like the hapless hangar person that is like always looking a little bit lost and doesn't really know what's going on because he doesn't get informed. He's never told what's happening. He's just like,
okay.
I need your most ready ship now.
All right. Well, I need a name and an accent then.
Well, it's going to be like Phil, and he's going to have that sort of just like dopey Southern British accent.
Phil McCracken.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
What do you need? What can I do for you? What can I do you for? What can I do you for?
I've just told you, the ship that is most ready to fight. Give me no. I need it. I need to get into the ship.
It's not really my department, to be honest. Like knowing what ship's the best. Like I just do.
No, not best. Most ready. Most ready.
Most ready. I guess. I don't know. Really, I just, when the ships come in, I just open them up and then I scoop out the dead pilots. I don't really do like
which ship does not have dead pilots in then?
Okay, I would say that's quite. I know there's feelings involved, but this is a logical decision that you're making, So I would say that you.
Oh no!
So roll me a check, please.
That is a 5, so I failed.
Okay, so all right. In this instance, Phil just goes, I guess it's that one, and he points to the one second along. Okay, and he goes, Bill, I don't know your name. Can you just? No, I don't. Can you just press the button to let him out? And they're all shirking their duties in the hangar. They're just like warehouse workers. Like no one wants to do anything. It's my break now. I've got listen, if I don't take a break, right,
tell him if he does not open the gates.
And they bash the button. Someone does it. There's the supervisor does it.
It takes a little while.
It takes a little while, and he knows that, he complains afterwards. It's going to, if I don't do it regularly, it affects my mental health. If I need to take breaks, you know what I mean? All these pilots coming down and yelling, "What's the best ship?" You know what I mean? And he's having a nice bitch about it.
I'm not
blood sugar problems. Yeah, exactly.
I need to take a break now. I need tea and I need a biscuit because it affects my blood sugar.
Yeah. So as far as you're aware, Bradley, as far as your character is aware, the ship it flies out of the tube, and so far it's working fine.
Yeah.
You know the ship fairly well. What was you're a dangerous explorer, so you might not be as savvy on the guns as maybe the soldier would have been in the ship, but you know how to maneuver and you know how to spot.
Yeah, I know how to fly a ship. I just don't know how to shoot a ship very well.
Yeah, exactly. Who are we going to next? I think we should probably go to Christine, see how she's getting on with the gun. So the gun emplacement, you're right. It's like it's housed in an area that is almost like a dome, and you can see in a 360-degree arena, and you can get your bearings correctly. But when you get there, the thing hasn't been reloaded. You can tell that the thing it's a massive gun. And it's got shells, and you can see all of the sort of stuff that you should load it with. There are loads of different shells, and there's a manual half open, like someone was looking to see what sort of shells to load. And you get there, and you know this thing can do some damage, but you don't know yet how to load it.
I would perhaps argue, because we've been on a ship for a while, that as a soldier, I'd be an expert in loading this sort of weaponry, and she has got a tendency to go to the big guns as well. So my logic would be that actually perhaps she doesn't need the manual. She can Well,
I think you're
look at
probably
it.
right.
It's like it's obviously like that's like it's 1.8 megaton. This look, there it is. It's red. What's wrong with everybody? That's so
Christine
nice.
clearly knows
Alright.
nothing about guns.
That's great. It's great. If you can
Christine
tell
doesn't,
me,
but Pin does, so it's all right.
if you can tell me what pin loads it with, like what sort of shells is pin loading in it, then
right
you can
one?
have 2 dice to roll for.
It'll be
Just
the right one.
they'll be the right one. Just describe it to me. What are these things going to do?
They're going to be so basically. I imagine that there's like a canister, and they're sprayed on paint the codes of what they are, and I imagine that rather than actually taking the shells out, this canister is on a bit like Matrix, the third one, when they've got the what's his name, the little guy that runs
the APU
house,
thing,
the massive
yeah.
thing.
Okay.
He's got one of those, and he has a little trolley, and he has to run it and then stick it into the back so it goes up the top. I imagine it's like that.
Okay, yeah, I like that. Yeah, I can visualize that. I think Matrix Revolutions was my touchstone for this as well. So you can say what you like about that movie, but it knows how to provide you with big cannons and big weapons, doesn't it? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, tons.
One of the fights was really bad, but the rest of them were incredible. So.
Yes. I listen, as discussed earlier on, I'm a big fan of that series. Okay, so so roll 2 dice for me, please.
If you're an expert, do you get to roll 3?
Aren't you rolling 1 because you are an expert?
No, you get one.
No, there's prepared. Yeah, roll 3. You're absolutely right. Roll 3.
Oh, well, that was a 1, so that's good. That's less than 5. 3, yeah, and 6. So 2 successes.
That's okay. That's perfect. You do it well. Good job. So you load those beastly shells in, and I'm just going to say now as well, I'm pretty sure as a soldier, that sort of stuff is like foreplay, isn't it? There's no way that the gun itself is the orgasm.
It's like
being able to load those big things in and bang. And
is it in? What is it in with? He like shoots a gun and then smells the chamber, and he's like, "Is it Deadpool? Isn't it?" There you go.
I mean, it doesn't. There's definitely something about like when I was working with the army a while ago with not 4, but I went on the shooting range, and like there is something before you're allowed to go on the range, you have to know the gun and you have to know how to strip it, clean it, put it back together before you're allowed to use it. And there's something about that feels sort of, so there is almost something. I don't know
primal.
what to say. Yeah, but also meditative. So I would say even for your next role that you make that maybe involves shooting the gun, I think you'll probably have advantage, some sort of expert. Add an extra dice on that, I think.
And when she puts it in, she gets the oil on her hands and she goes, oh.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah.
Yours is cooler.
No, I love that it's edible for her. That's the
Pin's
thing.
weird.
Yeah, that is awesome. Okay, good. So, what are you looking for when you're up there just before you get the comms and the information from the androids? Yeah. What are you looking for when you're up there?
I'm going to look for the big bad, see when that is for starters. Actually, because we've only seen the screen image of the thing. We didn't do that thing which they do in Star Trek lots, which is like magnify screen or any of that sort of stuff to look at the ship before they were talking.
Not yet, but you might when the android gets to the
so I'll try and find out where the big bad is, and see what it's currently doing. Like if I can see any sign of them pointing their weapons to us, and if there's like engine blocks or there's a lot. But yeah,
so you can see that the ship has followed you directly, orbiting this planet, and they are firing upon you to disable you. That's one of the things you can see. I think I won't make you roll for it. I think it's like an expert thing, like you'll be able to know where a ship is targeting. So you haven't got the information from the android. He hasn't spoken to the hive mind or figured out anything on the sensors, but the one thing you can do is you can ascertain that it's trying to disable you rather than destroy you wholesale. Okay. And I would say that you can see that they've dispatched a sort of
a drone.
Yeah, the drones have come out, and I would say that they're probably they're almost like a defending line in sports. You know, they're not there to they're not attacking you and swirling around, but they're just there flanking the ship in a sort of
Black is going
defend like a
line.
defending line in
some kind of
sport.
Some kind of sport. I forgot what it was called in football. The defense line. Oobleck, what are you saying?
Oobleck saving straight for the line.
Okay, so we'll come back to you. So you're aiming straight for the fighters that are sort of situated around the outside. Okay. Ryan, your android is making its way to the bridge.
Hal, after watching Captain do this numerous times, swings his legs over the chair and sits in the main, like in fashion.
Still like the next generation. Riker.
No, it's sort of like like a cartwheel kick where you swing your legs over and then he crosses
like
them over.
Kenny Everett, basically. It's showing a bit too much. Kenny Everett.
Yeah. We've shown a bit of my android junk, but I'm smooth down there like a Ken doll, so it's fine.
Okay. I haven't asked you what outfits like this crew is wearing.
Well, I've obviously got a lab coat on. I've got a doctor's coat on.
Okay.
The officers are the only ones equipped with the vac suits, right? So.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Exactly. All the other scrubs, and they just burst out into space if the ship's ruptured, right? Yeah.
So I would argue this: as a doctor and an android, I am well versed with dealing with a group of nurses, right, in an operating theatre, and B, being cool under pressure. And so I don't think I'm an expert in this sort of scenario, but I think I'm well prepared to be able to handle the crew and the people. And he clicks to get someone to mop his brow, even though it's just,
yeah, they're not even at surgery, and he don't sweat.
He's got two people, one to wet the brow and one to dry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
perfect. Yeah. Obviously, all wearing face masks as well.
I love how you haven't even asked to roll anything or do anything. You're just telling me what's happening. Yeah.
I'm setting up. No, I'm not an expert. But I'm definitely cool, and I want to prepare. I'm definitely prepared for this. So I want to get CR Uman, and I want him. I need you to run two. I need you to run 2 scans.
Good day, Captain.
Yeah. Yes, I heard you.
He's upset that no one's saying hello to him now either. No one says hello.
Yes, G day to you too. G apostrophe day to you too. I need you to run. It looks like
they're targeting our engines. They're trying to disable us, I think.
Well, I need you to run 2 scans. 1, weaknesses in their hull, and 2, if there is a living organism on this ship that is not in the logs and registry that they could be after.
Okay. I would say that's 2 separate roles of lasers. You're dealing with the hard facts here, the science.
Oh, bang! I got a 3. So
nice. That's your
score,
isn't it?
I got laser feelings.
So what was your first question?
Oh, right.
I wanted to know.
So it was a laser feeling. So the first one was, I need the weak spot in their hull, okay. like a doctor. I know where exactly, like in Kiss of the Dragon, where he puts the
gets all
the thing
acupuncture points,
right,
yeah.
right in the face exploder or whatever it's called. Like as a doctor, I know the weak points of the anatomy, and that's what I'm. So I want to know that for the ship.
Okay. So what's the ship like? Can anyone describe to me? Captain Darcy's notes would have described it, but also, so you can all see.
Well, you said it was like a big beehive, right? Is what you said. Now, if all comedy beehives have that one perfect hole in it, don't they? Right? It's the hole where Pooh sticks his fingers in to get a little taste of the honey, right? It's like the right? I think that's it. That's the classic.
It goes all the way down to like the Hive Queen, right?
Yeah. That's where the Hive Queen's viewing window is. So I'm calling out in the comms for that, for the thingy.
Okay.
Like the target bit in Star Wars where
yeah
has to drop that. Yeah.
And don't And remember, don't ever, under no circumstances, turn off your targeting computer. That is logically put there to make calculations far beyond the human brain could ever comprehend.
So Uman confirms. He goes. He goes. So I assume you're relaying that information, are you?
Yeah, I was over the comms because I know that Pin was waiting for the shot. Right, she was waiting for the thingy.
And Uman says, yeah, that hole at the top, it looks like it's where the fighter ships, the defense line ships, it's where they come out of. It's a weak point, but it's heavily guarded. So I don't think that the guns that on the ship won't reach it, but they might be able to thin out the defending ships. And but I think if you could position a fighter on top of it and fire a volley down there, you might be able to disable their guns at least, or some of their higher level functions at the top there. Nothing at the bottom. You wouldn't destroy the ship, but you'd disable something if you could hit through the hole. And he lets you know that information.
Perfect.
Did you want to ask a question with your laser feelings as well?
That basically was it, right? That was like the laser feelings was the.
You'd fully know that you'd fully know that what you do is you don't really know what you destroy because it's an opening, so they're not going to have all of their stuff right by that.
Yeah.
But if you can thin the sort of swarming crowd of ships around the opening, you could pop a volley of shots down there, and you destroy maybe their functionality to be able to attack you, or something like that.
And then. What was the other role I was going to do? It was for and to scan the ship to see if there's an organism. I need him to work with the concierge on the ship to check to make sure that everyone was signed in and out, and all the right people are on the ship. If there's one biological anomaly,
yes. So you have to roll for that then, please.
We all know the concierge is French and wears a nice tight suit.
Let's hope that you fail so that I don't have to do that accent.
Ooh, I got a 1.
Oh, that's feelings, isn't it?
Lasers. So I want to roll under 3.
I
got a 1.
Oh, nice one. Okay, very nice. With that success, it's he pipes through. Uman pipes through to the crewman. Uman. He pipes through to the concierge.
And it's to see concierge.
Hello, Celine concierge here. We have no crewmen missing. Everybody accounted for. This is the only department in the ship that has good administration. It is the one thing we do. Would you like a sandwich or something sent up?
I would like a glass of the 257 oil, please.
257 oil, absolutely, sir. One moment. And then then she hangs up. So you know that there's nothing. There's no one unaccounted for on the ship. There's not no extra organic.
There's
not an extra organic person on the ship.
So they're not trying to disable our ship to try and get on it, is what I was.
No, they're not.
Not trying to get the artifact from one of us. So yeah.
No. You could at some point try hailing them if you want to. That's something that traditionally is done in these sorts of shows. How do you feel about like this being like you're not quite in the last act of the show where the shit wraps up, but you're maybe one step before that. So you're thinking we need to figure this out and handle this now, or if it maybe hits 11, something bad.
I think after the fact that we've relayed that we can, if we clear the lines of the drones, if we can get something down the mouth of down the hole. So I'd like to see what Pin and Ublek do. Totally. And then as the missile gets fired, it's like find out next week.
Well, how are you guys? Well, we might get to, okay. Well, I don't know if anyone who's listening or watching, or if you guys actually want to continue this, or if we want to have it go down in a blaze of glory. And to be honest, I'm easy with both. So how's everybody feeling? And there's no offense if you're like, fuck this, let's just wrap it up and never touch these.
We'll see what happens for the next 2 rolls, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose you will, right? Okay.
I'm happy with either option, but we'll see how we succeed.
So yeah, that's great. Okay, so it really does hinge on the dice. So you guys need to organise then, Christine and Brad, which sort of order you're going to do it in, and how you're going to pursue the disabling of this ship.
I think
I would like to argue that I have helped both of them.
Yeah, because it's done the scan that I asked for.
Done the scan, relayed the information, because I did well on my roll.
Yeah,
that's fair. Yeah,
cool.
But I'm going to say, just at this instance, maybe there's a rarer chance for you both to get your individual advantages, even though you're both skilled in their area. Maybe as a soldier, you're skilled on the gun, but you'd be more skilled sort of with that big gun from what's his name. So maybe you can get those extra rolls, I think, from Rye, but less of a chance of being skilled in what you're doing at the moment.
But I think didn't we say last time I get an expert on?
Yeah, yes, with exception of that one. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Good. I think I think we'd talk, wouldn't we, on the comms and say, you know, that we're gonna Ryan would relay.
Just a lot of shouting from Oobleck comms.
Yeah. What, you just got to find a big hole and stick.
I'm trying. It's just like weaving in between all of these drones.
Fine. Okay, fine.
I need less drones.
Right. Well, I guess. All right. Fine. If you can't do it on your own, fine. She's gonna lay covering fire.
That's great. Yeah. So Oobleck's lasers are just pinging off the drone, but he knows he's got a limited amount of. Providing again that his ship is up to snuff, he has a limited amount of missiles that he can get down the hole if a path is cleared. So, you're going to try and use the gun to thin the herd of drones, are you?
Just basically try and do covering fire to let him through. So his the route that he is flying in, if he's doing this erratically, she's able to follow that. Right, and just pick them off as they come up, and if there's a sneaky one that flies in the back, she goes, "Oh, got you two!" Boom, 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 boom. You know.
Okay, perfect.
Boom, got it.
So there's 3 rolls there, right? That you've got, isn't it? 3 dice.
Yes, I do.
If you, depending on the amount of successes, will depend on how much of the herd is thinned by your gunfire. I think.
Cool. I can do that. 1. Yeah, that's good.
Yes.
I've got to go below 5. Sorry. Just so you know. I got a 5.
Nice.
That's from Aces and Feelings. And I got another 1. So that's 2 1s. That's 2 successes.
Lovely.
Plus Aces and Feelings.
So so in all, it's 3 successes, which is a critical success. And you get to ask a question. Yeah. Okay. You're welcome to ask a question, or I can give you some. Yeah. No. Okay. Yeah. Go for it. If you've got a question, ask it, and I'll tell you what your successes.
So this question can be about anything. It doesn't have to be about the situation. Is that right, or is it got to be about the situation that we're in?
I'm not sure. Go for it. I won't. If it's a dodgy question, I'll ask you to do another one. It's fine.
So, like, my question was like, what was the best way to destroy the ship? And then Sean gave me the honey hole.
About the honey hole, yeah. So I guess with the drone covers, can I tell that they are flying in a formation? Like, do you know, is there like units of 3 or 4 or 5? So if I took off like a center one of each, would they go scattering, or?
I can tell you, I suppose. Yes, there's a pattern. Yeah, there is a pattern, and I hope this is a good enough answer to your question. The question, I love the idea of it, but it's very unusual, isn't it? It's not something we're used to, unless in D&D we have like the thing where you can ask a DM something, you know, like the spells and stuff. I would say that you can see the pattern, and you can absolutely 100% stop the horde around the hole. So there's no chance with your critical success as well. There's no chance of any of them interfering with Oobleck's shot. So when Oobleck takes his shot, it's just his aim plus the ship that he has to take into account, not the horde. So you've really done a winner there. That was an incredible success. He's not going to be troubled by any external forces. Does that answer your question, or do you feel like that?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, because that was my question: was how successful am I going to be with picking them all off?
Yeah.
So yeah,
you've as a soldier, and as knowledgeable in your job, you have done it, and you've kept the herd off. And you're doing the right thing. Just leaves Ublek to do his
cool.
To do his shot.
Don't bloody miss! Don't bloody miss!
Ublek is just like in red mist. He's just like, ah! And he's just going to go, I have no idea which hole it is. And he's just going to point it at the ship and just goes straight onto one of the holes, hoping it's the right hole, and fire the missiles.
Can I help at all by like sending
tracer shots
towards? Like, it's bloody this one, for bloody hell's sake, just go there.
Okay, you can. So you can give Bradley an aiming dice. So there's 2 dice you can have to aim, Bradley. I think that makes sense, right? Okay. Unless you can just justify.
No, well, I was gonna justify the preparedness in that they both got 2 critical successes.
Okay. Yes. Okay. So that's 3 dice to line up your shot. And I'm going to say that's hang on a minute. What are you good in? You're proficient in.
I'm feelings, and I just said I winged it and pointed it at a hole and started firing.
All right. That's fair enough. Yeah. Okay. All right. I'll give you 3 for feelings to line up your shot. But once you've lined up your shot, it's got to be 1 for lasers. No. Okay. Listen. 1 to line up your shot with lasers. No, wait. Sorry. 1 with feelings. I'm just confused about laser feelings. 1 to line up your shot with feelings. 3 to line up your to get the machinery to work inside the ship, right? Because that's not a feelings job. To get the ship to know if the ship is going to fire. Okay.
Yeah. So I have to work the systems with 3 rolls. Okay, and then
Yeah, with 3 lasers rolls.
So which one am I doing first?
You're going to line up your shot with the feelings.
Because I've just rolled 3 times, so.
Oh, you have.
Yeah, but I need to do another roll then. But I want to know which one.
Yes, exactly. You line up with feelings first. Give me 1.
Line up with feelings first. It's just a regular success with a roll of a 3.
Okay, very nice. In that case, you line up your shot with a partial success. There's no indication that this is the correct hole, but there's a very good chance that it is.
Okay. And now to work the ship and fire the missiles, 3 rolls. Yeah. I have at the moment a 6 and a 1, which is 1 success.
Yes. Okay.
And the final one is a 4, so 1 success.
Okay. How can you describe to me how you are? Maybe it's more of a success if you confuse lasers and feelings together in this moment, because it feels to me like it's both.
So I'm scanning my systems, looking. I see that I've got 2 missiles loaded. I'm like, oh,
there's only 2. I only have 1 chance.
And so with like intuition, knowing how to pilot a ship with my exploratory background, I'm yanking the ship around, dodging drones. They're exploding around me. I have no idea whether it's me or not that's destroying them. And I point at one of the holes and I fire both missiles off. The missiles are like scraping the sides of this hexagonal hole before detonating something in the heart.
And out of all of the holes that are in this ship, steam and smoke, and what you're witnessing is all of the little particles of the hive mind firing in all different directions, and you can tell the whole thing. It sort of screams you know, like when dogs can like make noises that sound a little, or cats make noises that sound like they're humans screaming. You know, like wow, wow, and all that sort of stuff. You hear these weird
foxes. I think foxes.
Yes, it sounds like foxes fucking in the back garden. Yeah, that's exactly it. And the thing is almost like because it's not organic, it's not metal. What is this thing that's just crying out in pain? Nothing about the structure has been damaged, but you can tell that all of the particulates scattering to the wind, you have disabled something within the ship. And Uman goes, they've stopped firing. They've stopped firing, Captain, acting captain, co-captain. They've stopped firing. And the ship is freewheeling down towards the planet, which was called Wobberjack. The thing is spinning. It almost looks a little bit like a sort of someone's carved a beehive. No, what beehive? Like sort of the hexagonal shapes of a hive, of a honeycomb onto like a squash, onto like a sweet. What's it called? I can't. What are those
butternut squash.
Called? Yeah, butternut squash. So it's like a huge fucking butternut squash, and you can see that it is spiraling through the atmosphere and slowly making its way down to you would assume crash land on the planet.
And he starts flying back towards the main ship.
And as that happens, there's another alarm in the ship.
Hang on,
I love the fact that we've got like this alarm randomizer.
Just I remember to do.
Uman, can you answer that now?
So I don't know how to tell you this, but the medical pod, it's just been ejected, sir, and the medical pod with Captain Darcy in it is ejected, spiraling towards the planet as well. And
I knew it was that concierge all along.
And that's where we're gonna end this episode. Part 2. You know when they do they do a part 1 at the end of every season of Star Trek, don't they? And the next season opens up with a part 2. So if there's demand, if you guys are interested and you're excited about it, I'm talking about it on the stream as well. But if you guys are like these characters, you want to see the conclusion, we'll know how to stream it better next time. It'll be a little tighter, and I'm happy to give you guys a. No way! You've actually knitted
I made it. Unstitched it together. There it is.
Thing.
There it is.
A neck warmer.
It's like a little cow. Hold on, I have to take that off first.
That's genuinely amazing. Just for anyone listening on the podcast, if this thing makes it to that. Christine knitted an entire snood while we were chatting.
That's what technical difficulties do for you.
That's amazing. That's an actual proper snood. I'm
speechless. It's mine as well.
It is yours. I'll finish it off. I'll get rid of all the castly bits and I'll post it.
That's amazing. Oh, well, thanks, everyone. That was fun. What did you guys think of Lasers and Feelings?
That was good fun. That was good fun. I like the more narrative game, if you like.
It's less character sheet reliant, and you're like, but there is still a framework to grab hold of.
I think it's nice because it plays with the conventions of the genre that you're in, and I sort of like the nature of it being random, and that failures and successes propel the story in different directions. Because I was hoping that
we all want to be in a TV show like that. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, just maybe nicer characters, like lead characters, instead of like a bunch of like reprobates and
No, stick with the reprobates. They're great.
Oh, we've been raided. Right at the end of our show, unlucky raiders. You've caught us right at the end.
Oh, hello, raiders.
Hi, raiders.
We just finished the game of part 1 of 2 of Lasers and Feelings.
And we knitted. And that's it.
We
That's
knitted because we had technical difficulties at the start. Hence the entire Zoom screen, because we haven't been able to crop it yet. But we persevered, didn't we? So anyone who's listening at home or on the podcast, I really appreciate you joining us. We'll have our illustrious DM Johnny back next week, won't we? And we'll have the whole crew back together.
Yeah.
Blood and Song Aryan Well proper begins again. I don't know where were we at? It's been 2 weeks and I've already forgotten.
I don't
What was
remember.
happening in the-
We were racing where we were racing a group of
Guardsmen.
legionnaires to the
Legionnaires,
town.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, well,
Yes.
We're
almost.
trying to get north.
Sorry, Snackomics. We I know you love Lasers and Feelings, but we do put all of these episodes up on Twitch and on YouTube as well, so you can catch up on this entire episode, and you can find that at Bloodsong Party, Blood and Song as well.
Yeah, we had a great time. It was good fun.
It was brilliant.
It was great fun. Lasers and Feelings, man.
Yeah.
So I got the blue in there as well.
Lots of just sci-fi stuff.
So we were saying obviously there's a second part of this that has to come out. It's going to be very protracted. The season will be cancelled while we do Aryan Well, and then it'll be brought back by like Yahoo Movies or CBS All Access or whatever comes in, and then we'll see this conclusion to this.
I'm sure there'll be plenty of opportunities for us to play this game more because I want to.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed it, and we it's more my sort of thing because I don't like to keep all the numbers in my head for D&D, as anyone who watches the stream can tell. It's not how my brain operates. So this is much more of a sort of improv based sort of thing that you can be hacked anyway. So as we were saying at the start of the show as well, we have a Matrix 1 due around December for the release of Matrix 4. So this is a homebrew hack that we've written it's I'm trying to remember what it is now, but it's to do with simulation and sort of the real world, and as you have the more emotion of this sort of sweaty Zion cave rave sort of emotions of the real world, and you have the sort of sunglasses.
Oh, it was a rave, was it?
You mean as opposed to an orgy with music? Yeah. Whatever works, man. And then the other side of it is like the Matrix, the ones and zeros, the sort of the cool sort of overdeveloped fight scenes and stuff. So we'll have Lasers and Feelings just like this, but with a Matrix style twist in December. So please, Blood and Song Aryan Well will beat the algorithm. You'll get on it's twitch.tv/TotePartyWin. Follow us, subscribe. We have a regular fantasy series, Blood and Song, sort of Asian-inspired fantasy series that we will return to next week. So it's very exciting. So thanks everyone for joining us, and all the people that just joined the raid. Share us with your friends, and we'll be able to return the favour at some point. And let's find out what happens to the intrepid crew of the good ship Raptor in due course. So. Okay, thanks everyone.
Thanks, guys.
No outro. We've just got to end it. No outro. Have we?
What does Johnny normally do? What do we normally do?
He does normally
I made a great mother guide you.
That's it.
No, we can't have that. We've got to say, may the great hive mind assimilate you.
Oh, that means we lose.
And Captain Darcy in time.
Yeah. May you find Captain Darcy.